I was
Okay.
in a really toxic and abusive first marriage, and I've had anxiety all of my life. Really struggled through childhood and teenage years, and then got into this first marriage. And by the time I ended that marriage, my anxiety was pretty debilitating. And then I met my now husband, who was very experienced with psychedelics and encouraged me to utilize the medicine in order to change my perspective and maybe take some of the edge off. And it ended up turning my world upside down and led me down this path. It was really from that first experience that it shrank my anxiety from this overwhelming dark cloud that followed me around constantly to kind of making it more like a mosquito. Very annoying, but something that I could manage. I was one of those dare kids from the 80s, the say no to drugs.
Yeah.
Felt like if I tried drugs, my brain would end up scrambled. Those sorts of fears are, they've been so emphasized for decades.
The scramble is literal. Cut those old commercials with this is your brain on drugs when they put the egg in the frying pan.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And I was terrified of the experience. And it's only because I trusted my husband so much that I was even willing to take this step forward. So I can understand the hesitation that a lot of our society might have and reservations about psychedelics because they have been so misinformed and misrepresented in the public media.
Oh, well, dirty street people do that drug. Ketamine had such a bad reputation, man.
Oh, yeah.
Even I thought it was dirty until we started this podcast. And then I start learning about the medicine side of it. I'm like, oh my God, this is like a miracle drug. What is going, why don't people know that? Like, people need to know that. You know what I mean? Like, all people know, like Lee, who came on our first patient from the ketamine side. She was like that when people first started suggesting ketamine to her. She's like, I'm not doing ketamine. Are you kidding me? I don't do drugs.
I'm I do hair.
Yeah. Like but then she did it and she's like, oh my God, this saved my life.
Yeah.
So that's what we really need. And that's really what this podcast is about, is education and awareness. We need to tell people that this is a thing and that this can actually work for you.
And then if that conversation goes well and we determine they're a good fit for psilocybin therapy, then we would schedule a prep session, the first prep session. That's going to be more logistics. They're going to have to fill out a bunch of paperwork, liability waivers, and the actual screenings for the state of Colorado. So that goes into more detail on your medical conditions, medications that you might be taking, your mental health, making sure that you actually qualify according to state standards. Then we're going to have all of the forms that are required by the Healing Center and DORA, which is the regulatory agency through Colorado. We're going to have you set up a transportation plan so we know how you're getting to and from the Healing Center. It's all about safety.
Yeah, people have been using this stuff literally since there's been humans, as far as we can tell.
Right.
And what this is we're trying to reincorporate this back into our society that has gotten so far away from it that we forgot about it. Yeah. We have to remember what we used to know about it, is what it's coming down to now.
Our ancestors and our...
Yeah.
I mean, the beginnings of humankind.
I mean, even like in Greece, some of their churches were all about psychedelic ceremonies. The Oracle of Delphi, man, look it up.
Jeremy knows and the most random things.
They tried to illegalize it at one point.
It's amazing.
And like the citizenry was up in arms, like, you can't take this away from us. This is what makes life livable, is this stuff. Like it was a big deal. And it's very much like things that happen today when, they illegalize these things that people have been doing for forever, and all of a sudden you can't do it anymore. This is medicine. Like it's not what Western medicine would classify as a medicine, maybe so much, but it is medicine, and people have been using it literally forever.
Well, it's really going to be client specific. So typically most centers are recommending between 2 and 4 grams for their initial experience.
Okay.
they can do a low dose, but if you're coming for this kind of experience and you're paying this much money, I personally would not recommend a low dose. Sometimes that can be really hard to, what I call, drop in to the medicine. Mm-hmm. It then becomes kind of an ego battle if you're not far enough in, and then it just can be more of a frustrating experience than if you're all in with the normal, like a heroic dose is kind of what they call it. But yeah, I mean, typically you're going to be looking at 2 to 4 grams, but again, you're going to have that conversation with your facilitator and determine what's going to be the best possible dose for each client.
Thanks for joining us on the Healthcare Uprising. Make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons before you go, and take a moment to think of a friend and hit that share button. You can find us on all the major audio platforms, and we've got video on YouTube if you want to watch us in action.
You can also find us on social media on LinkedIn, TikTok, and Instagram. Just search Healthcare Uprising to find us. And if you're a new company with a cool new product, if you're someone innovating alternative methods for the health and wellness space, or if you have a personal healthcare journey you'd like to share with us here at The Uprising, please email us at healthcareuprising@gmail.com. And we'll get back to you about coming on the show. Well, that's all for this dose of Healthcare Uprising. Until the next time, keep looking for the good in the world, because sometimes it's where you least expect it.
We are not doctors and we don't play one on TV. If you need medical advice, consult with your physician or a healthcare professional. This has been a Shut Up production.
Shut